Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my first vlog in a while. So, yes, I'm back, I'm alive, I'm still capable of making videos, although that same could not have been said for the past couple weeks, which is why those of you who are not in contact with me in ways other than these vlogs, that's why you haven't seen me at all lately. And because of that, don't expect a very organized vlog right now. A lot has happened in the past 3 weeks. I don't even know how long it was since I made a last one. It was something between 4 and 3 weeks. It wasn't between 4 and 3 weeks. It's either 4 or 3 weeks. I don't do halfway week vlogs. That'd be weird because then they wouldn't be on Wednesday. Although I guess I can't call this one a weekly Wednesday ramble either because it's not weekly. So, welcome to Wednesday, everybody. So yeah, after my last vlog, which I believe that was the last one we just went over. I don't know when the last one was made. But I went to GDC, which was the, I'm going to close the window so there's not, like, noise outside. Normally I close the window anyway, but this time I didn't because I wanted fresh air. Because it's really nice out, even though it's night. It's a very nice night out. But anyway, I went to GDC, which was a lot of fun. It's the, for those of you who don't know, that's the Game Developers Conference, which is basically a giant gaming business meeting in San Francisco where companies and indie developers come out and show off games and new technologies, and it was a blast. It's the first like big gaming event that I've ever been to. And I went with some people from the Game Dev Club and we hung out. It was amazing. They had, it's hard to describe. It's like everything that was there. Like I have all these different stories I want to say, but that would take up way too much time. And we already went over in past vlogs how we don't want to go over too much time on these. So I'm going to leave it at, it was phenomenal. I got to try out the Oculus Rift. I got to play old games because they had a video game history thing set up there. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. And after that, I got on a train to go back to Fresno for spring break, which was also amazing. It was a very nice, relaxing. I had a little bit of homework, but it's just something that happens. So I didn't have much to do. I got to hang out. I got to play a lot of music. I got to play a lot of video games, which was overall it was a wonderful break. There was the episode of, oh, we're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons on Saturday, so you should join us. I put that in quotes, attribute it to Steven, and then attribute the next quote. Oh, by the way, we're not actually doing it. So, you have a character now, in case we do it later. So, I don't hold that against you, Steven. I'm just making a story. So, yeah, I was going to join the guys for Dungeons & Dragons, and it was going to be a lot of fun, so Steven helped me create a character, and went through all this work, and then it got called off at the last minute. So, I have a character sheet. I actually brought it with me. I have it right here in a drawer, in case I feel like making some alterations before he actually gets his introduction. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Also over spring break, I did another recording on my main music channel, which I will link in the description below. Yeah, after that, spring break was over. It was lovely. I went to a concert the Wind Symphony put on. Well, I mean, it was, what am I talking about? They didn't put on the concert. It was a friggin' festival. Like, I was going to go to the concert, the joint, I believe it was Whitworth was in town. It was sort of a joint concert between the two of them, but Benjamin wasn't going to be playing at that one, so I joined them at the festival they did, and it was absolutely lovely. They sound amazing, which is great to hear. I miss being in that ensemble a lot. So yeah, then spring break ended, and I came back here, and that was last week, and I came back to total insanity. That week there was so much happening that week. Oh my gosh, I'm noticing the blink delay on the video, and it's freaking me out. I'm in that sort of manual blink mode where I see myself blink in the video and blink on my own. For those of you who don't know how to record, I'm basically watching a mirror of myself on the computer as I'm recording, so I can see myself blinking, and it's weird. I don't know how I'm just noticing this, after a whole semester of doing these vlogs. But anyway, I will try to not pay attention to myself blinking. So, came back to total insanity after spring break, and that was because I had to, one, officially declare my major as electrical engineering and computer science, which I was previously engineering undeclared, so I've sent in email for submitting and changing my major, and then I had to figure out what schedule I was going to do for next semester. And then I had to send that in, and I had to get an advisor code before this Monday, and then I had a paper to write, and then I had a test on a ton of different stuff in Japanese on Friday. And I was like, pretty much the entire week. So that's why you didn't get a vlog from me last week. Yeah. It wasn't fun. It was not a fun week, but that week is over. I haven't gotten any word back about my major being changed, but that's out of my hands at this point. My schedule is semi-solidified. I got my first 2 classes signed up for next semester. Yeah, and that brings us through last week into this week, and not much has happened on Monday. Not much happened on Monday. Then on Tuesday was the great Smash Brothers Nintendo Direct, which was amazing. I actually skipped out of lecture to watch it, which, on one hand, I don't know, that's not the most ethical thing to do. On the other hand, Smash Brothers announcements. 40 minutes of Smash Brothers announcements. It was phenomenal. I was super happy pretty much the entire time. They showed a bunch of new assist trophies, new stages, new Pokemon in the Pokeballs, new Pokemon as playable characters, namely Greninja from the X and Y, the new ones that I haven't played because I'm not as into Pokemon as everyone else is. They showed just a bunch of stuff. They showed, the Wii U version's going to have just as much music as Brawl is, which is super exciting to me because that means I've got another 12 gig music download in my future when that game comes out and people rip the audio off of it. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be so much music. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be a great overwhelming, though. I know there was a bunch of other stuff. They talked about the online mode. They talked about the new... For online, there's 2 new modes. There is For Fun, which is... It's all of the stages are always randomized. All the items are on. Yada yada yada. It's the yay, we're having fun. Then there's For Glory, which is a Final Destination, no items, Fox only, basically, except without the Fox only. That's just a joke. They wouldn't actually do that. That'd be really weird if they actually made that an option to just have Fox only. I don't know how I'd feel about that. It would be really funny the first few times, and then it would get really old and people would be really pissed off. But yeah, and so those 2 modes are available when you're just playing with random people online, which makes me really hope that they have the online working well for that game, because for Brawl, the online was very lackluster and very glitchy and not as fun as it should have been for playing Smash Brothers online with people. So hopefully this will be an improvement. I'm sure it will, because it's been 5-6 years. I know Brawl came out when I was in 8th grade, so yeah, that's been 6 years since Brawl came out. So hopefully there's been some improvements. Yeah, that was yesterday, leading up to today, which I just got back from Gamecraft meeting, which is every Wednesday, so that just happens. And we had a talk by Brandon Sheffield, who is at Necrosoft Entertainment. And I recommend going and looking at them. They have pretty fun stuff. They're the game he was sort of showcasing and basing a lot of his talk around was called Gunhouse, which is for Vita. It's on the PlayStation Mobile. So he the entire time he was making jokes about yeah, no one's played this just because it's on systems that no one owns. And yeah, he gave a talk on it was his talk that he gave at GDC, so we sort of got a special private version of it, which was really cool. Big shout-outs to our president for putting that together. And he talked about getting feedback from people about your game and how to use that to basically make your game better. How to weed out the important things from people's comments and use them to your advantage. Yeah. So I've been recording for a while. This might be a fairly lengthy vlog, but considering it's a 4-week in the making of, I think it's worth it, which I'm going to segue into the segment that I've started, which is what I've been reading manga-wise, which has been a lot. I've read a lot since the last time we spoke, but I'll just hit the big one that I've been reading recently is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I thought was going to be really like, goofy, silly. It's crazy. It's not really, I mean, it's in some points it's goofy and silly, but it's also incredibly violent and bloody, which I was not expecting. But it does answer the age-old question of how do you beat a vampire at night if you don't have, like, I don't know, if their only weakness is the sun, if you don't have like a steak or garlic or anything. I think sort of canon vampires in this are only weak to sunlight. So if you don't have sunlight, you just create your sunlight by punching them with the frequency of sunlight, because that's a thing that you can do, and it's really funny, and it just progressively gets further and further detached from reality, and it's great action, violent, hilarious goodness. There's a dog that can control sand. For who knows why. It's a dog. He's a little puppy dog, and he controls sand. And he likes gum, because dogs like gum. Don't feed gum to your dogs, kids. It's a really bad idea. Really bad idea. I don't know if it's actually a bad idea. It's probably a bad idea, though. Anyway, that's really all I have to talk about. I say all, even though this recording looks like it's just around hitting 13 minutes. So I don't blame you if you didn't make it this far into the video. I know we talked about this, but I apologize to the rest of you for making a long video, but I've had a lot to talk about. I'll see you guys later.